Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
You cannot predict what the 76ers are going to do. If it were any other team, I'd say like they're going to take Simmons or Ingram for sure. They might take a center from from Africa and just to stash away for a year so they're terrible again. I actually think they're probably going to take Ingram though, even though I think most people think that Simmons is going to go to number one. Simmons has got a little bit of heart drive issues from some scouts. Ingram's a little bit. He's kind of in that. He could be the next Durant. Long, he can shoot. He's got the wingspan of like a 7'6" dude or something like that.
It's a 7'2" is his wingspan, and he's 6'9".
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know it's possible.
Yeah. And you can see him, and he's a lanky dude.
Yeah. Some people just got crazy long arms. And so the interesting one to me is for the Celtics at 3, because we're based in Boston, and the Celtics have zillions of picks. Sorry, Ben. Ben's a big Nets fan, and the Celtics stole all the Nets picks for the rest of eternity. I think they might go with Bender, because they can take a chance on a flyer and being let's get somebody that could have some really high upside, maybe is a little bit of a risk. I did a bunch of reading about him, and the kid's 18. The people that are that young barely get any playing time in the EuroLeague. So that's why his minutes and numbers look so low. And I watched a few videos of him scoring 45 points in 3 quarters of a game. Granted, he's playing a bunch of 6'6" dudes, and he was dunking all over them, but he's got a smooth shot. He's kind of in the Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis mold in that.
You gonna put that much pressure on him?
No. Well, let me finish that. He's in that mold in that he was a point guard, and then he grew.
Right.
And so he retained those guard skills, and he just happens to be freakishly tall. So that's my guy at 3.
I think I was talking to my friend who works over at ESPN, and he was really upset that I brought this up to him because it's like a dream scenario, but he was vehemently saying this will not happen. There's no scenario in which this will happen. And I asked him, Boston has the 3rd pick. The Sixers have a lot of assets. Does Boston trade up to 1 and pick Simmons?
What do you think they'd have to trade to get that one?
That's the thing, is he was, my buddy was saying, and obviously I'm not speaking for myself here, but that they don't even have, there's no scenario, he can't even imagine a scenario where they trade for Simmons. But I just think it would be, if we're not even talking logistics here, I think that would be incredible to have. If the Celtics pick Simmons, then the Lakers take Ingram, and then you've got the 1 and 2 of this draft and future playoff, maybe championship meetings potentially, and that would, as a Laker fan, really reignite that rivalry.
It's very selfish of you to root for the Celtics.
Yeah, it is.
I think the problem with the Celtics is that they already have 6 or 7 young guys with a bunch of potential. They need to get established players at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if they trade the pick, but probably not to Philadelphia. Because at some point you need to stop collecting assets and actually, are they a playoff team, or are they rebuilding, or are they gonna, they're kind of stuck in the middle right now, and it's a good position for them to have, but they're not ever going to make the jump if they just keep adding 5 rookies to their team every year. And they're not going to have room to add their 5 rookies this year. So I think something has to happen. Don't see them trading up, but maybe they try to put something together for Cousins or Kevin Love. I think the Celtics got to make some sort of move. But if they do keep the pick, I would probably lean towards Bender as well. They need some front court help.
Sure.
I think all the picks are going to be BC.
So what is it like going to? You two went to D1 school. Does UT have D1 men's?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know they don't have men's volleyball there, which is
that
a shock.
that a little bit?
D1 men's basketball?
Yeah.
That's where Durant went.
Okay, jeez. Okay, well, I'll cut this part out. But my point was, what is it like going to a D1 school and seeing these guys that are playing D1 and then potentially going to be playing the NBA?
I mean, at BC, it meant just watching a crushing loss. Usually, every once in a while, we'll get like an upset. Like I think my senior year, we beat Florida State, but they wouldn't let us like crowd the court, which is just so upsetting. But I mean,
Sorry.
what?
When did Reggie Jackson get drafted? Did you see him play? Point guard?
I don't think I
5 or
did.
6
I think he was. I think he
Was
got
it-
drafted like right before I came.
Gotcha. I think he's the last BC kid to get drafted. And then McDaniel still happened.
Well, it is. I don't know. I just think that was like interesting to bring up, in that like you've got these guys that are playing in not necessarily a big market. Like, I mean, UT. That's basically a sports market right there. As
Yep.
we've talked about, like their
Yeah, it's
biggest.
it's the largest city in the U.S. that doesn't have a professional sports team, is Austin, which is the 10th or 11th biggest city now.
Yeah.
And everybody's favorite team in town is the Longhorns.
So coming from a market like that, it must not. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little different, but as far as like the fans and then having like that atmosphere, it must not be hugely different. But then you got BC, where it's like they're not usually, at least now, in the top of any. I mean, especially the last year, not really any sport. But
Hockey did well.
okay,
Whoa.
all right, okay,
Don't
okay.
ever take that away.
I
There's
will-
always
I will-
hockey
I'll
season,
leave
as you
hockey.
say at the end of every football season. We got hockey.
But definitely, like, I don't know, I feel like BC also certainly has to live in the shadow of not just all Boston sports, but maybe some other sports schools as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of a mixed bag, really. Yeah, exactly. We're not. Boston sports are obviously amazing, and we have our years here and there. Like football, we had when Matt Ryan was playing, and then basketball, we had our years. But people also love to hate BC. So, I mean, we're the most competitive in Boston at the collegiate level, but I don't know. People still love to hate us.
Well, among the Boston schools, the top sport that matters is hockey, and BC, I think, has won the most bean pots. So, and they've also won the most national championships out of the 4 Boston schools. So they got that going for them.
That's true.
Right, but I think it matters the most just because there's the most competition.